All right, beautiful people, welcome back to another amazing and impactful episode of the Truvel Forever podcast.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey, where we try to live our best life through the lens of holistic health. I'm your host, Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, and as usual, I am accompanied by the beautiful, the smiling, the good vibes queen herself. What's poppin'? Introduce yourself.
What's up, party people?
Oh my gosh! At this point, I feel like do you think about these beforehand?
No, it just flows. My name is Sinclair, aka
The
Health Nerd, and just here in another. We usually do this on Sundays. Today's Saturday.
Mm-hmm. It is Saturday? That's right, it is Saturday.
It is Saturday. It feels like it's Sunday just because we're sitting here doing this, but no, not that. Only Saturday. Don't cut my weekend short, don't you dare.
I would never wish that upon anyone.
Don't make me my worst enemy.
Want to do a quick shout out. We did look at some analytics, and apparently Apple Music, y'all are giving us a lot of love. Apple Music, Apple Podcast. Shout out to y'all being the most popular platform that our podcast is listened to, followed by Spotify. We know what's up. Thank you. Shout out to all of our Spotify folks. And then we have increased our subscriptions on YouTube. Shout out. So, hopefully if you're starting your own business, starting your health journey, starting a podcast, like, you will see nice, slow, gradual growth, y'all. Just stick with it. This is episode 20 today. So we made 20 episodes. Well done, Queen. I see you. We did that. So, y'all just keep going. You're going to start at zero with everything that you do, and gradually over time, y'all going to get better. You're going to get followers, get subscribers, get income. Just keep going, y'all. Keep going. Queen, your week. Anything you would like to share with us? Any highlights, any lows, anything you just want to talk about on the podcast today? Before we get into the real bulk of it. What you got?
Like leads nicely into what we're going to talk about, but I feel like we've been talking about investing into real estate, so I've been doing a lot of research on that this week, on just different methods. Where do we want to invest? What type of loan do we want to get? Like all that stuff. And it's been a little bit exhausting, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, just because it's, I get emotionally invested.
Gotcha.
And although I'm trying not to get as emotionally invested, just so that if it doesn't go your way, I don't feel so disappointed or whatever. It doesn't stop the grind. I'm still going to move forward, but I don't want to get as emotionally invested, just in case it doesn't work out how you want it to.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, you'll find something, or you think of an idea like, oh, we should do this, and then you get all excited like, oh yeah, this will work, and then you do a little bit more research and find out like, oh man, well that's going to cost more money. Right. Or oh man, well actually we can't do that in California, whatever it is. So it's it's a very good learning experience, and we're gonna do some type of real estate investment regardless. Something. But it's a lot of back and forth between like, oh, what are we gonna do? We going to do this way, or do this way? What type of property are we gonna get? So yeah, it's it's a little bit draining to do that much research, but at the same time, I know that's how I am. Like when
If this is your first time listening, y'all know that Sinclair superpower is analytical and critical thinking. Yeah. So any type of research she does to the 8th, 10th power.
I'm like, yeah, I'm that person. Like you may, when you search on Google, you probably go to like the top 1 or 2 things. Like I'm that person. Like I'm on page 4.
Page 4.
Okay, that's a slight exaggeration.
Whoa.
But that's not. I have done that before.
Listen, y'all. If your search results are on page 4 of Google, you need to work on your SEO immediately. Search engine optimization, because no one is going past page 2, really. Yeah, I feel like people aren't even going past page 1, but definitely not page 4. I don't even know what page 4. Gosh.
But I just I usually in my research mode, I usually have at least 10 tabs open of just like, oh, okay, what about this? All right, let me open a new tab. Let me start searching on this. So yeah, it's just a lot of brain power. I'm like, oh, this will spark an idea, and then I'll go over here, and then let's go back to this, and then but what about this? And then just my brain's just all over the place.
Yeah.
But it is exciting to know what the possibilities are at the same time.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
What about you?
For me this week, which will deal directly with the theme of today, but I feel like this week has been a nice refresh, a nice restart. We got back from our anniversary trip, and I mean, at this point, it's been 3 weeks since we've time. I feel like every time we're like, oh,
3 years, I don't
know. But like we left first week of July, and I feel like because we went on vacation, we weren't in our household, didn't have our smoothies every day, didn't have our workout equipment every day, so I feel like I fell off my usual health regimen a little bit. So it was good to this week really get back to it. And yeah, there's been a bunch of stuff with the house, and we've had to like kind of take things out of the kitchen. So and then now we're not able to like cook the really good food that we want, and then there's just stuff messing with my vibes, stuff messing with my vibes. So I was able to kind of click the reset button, and yeah, I'm feeling already pretty good. I got a good routine going back up again. Some things I added to the routine, some things are the same, but I'm liking the health, and I'm already kind of seeing my body flex back to what it was pre-vacation, so I'm liking that as well.
That's good.
And then Academy starts tomorrow. Hey, play Black Wall Street Academy. Shout out to all my scholars. I appreciate y'all. But that's one of the reasons why we're trying to record today instead of tomorrow, because I got a whole class to teach.
Talking a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of talking. So I want to make sure I give the podcast as much energy as possible, make sure I give my students as much energy as possible. So just divide and conquer that. Are you ready to get into the theme for today?
Let's do it.
Okay, so today's theme, kind of alongside with real estate, we are talking about your personal real estate, yourself, under construction.
Yep.
All right, so let's get into the episode. All right, we're back. Under construction is today's theme. We want y'all to look at yourself respectfully as a property, as a grand mansion, as a castle, as a grand estate. This is what your body is. It is a temple. What? Perfect.
There you go.
Oh, couldn't have planned that better. Honestly, I didn't plan it. It kind of came naturally. Your body is a temple, and there are certain times when you need to renovate that temple to make sure that you're getting the most value out of it, depending on what time you're in, what stage of your life you're in, all that good stuff. So, talk about under construction. There's going to be 4 parts over it, and Queen, if you came up with better names, feel free to say the names. But the first stage we're going to talk about is your assessment or appraisal of your temple. Then we're going to talk about how you can source your materials or how you can build your team that's going to help you reconstruct yourself or renovate yourself. The third is going to be actual construction,
renovation.
Right? Exactly, the hard stuff, and that's going to be really building habits. And then the fourth and final is going to be your ARV, your after renovation value, right?
After repair value.
After repair value. Thank you, real estate queen. I appreciate you. All right, so let's launch into assessment / appraisal. What does this stage mean to you, Sinclair, when you think of looking at yourself or looking at like a piece of real estate like you've been doing the past few weeks? And when you're assessing, you're appraising, what things are you looking at?
So I think for me, and I'll say one big difference about, even though we're calling it an appraisal, I think assessment, in terms of like real estate, I think appraisal is good to just give some connection to what we're talking about. But when you're talking about an appraisal looks at other homes, right? And other homes in the area and how they're doing. And I think that's actually important not to do.
Good point.
So I think like your self-assessment should almost be the opposite. It should be looking deep within you, regardless of other people around you.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's kind of what it is. It's looking inside, like really thinking, asking yourself questions. For me, like assessment, I think is a good way to put it. Like, because you're asking yourself, like, how am I feeling? Like, we always say, like, how are your vibes? How are your frequencies?
What are your frequencies like today?
Like, are you high frequency? Are you feeling good? Are you upbeat? Are you kind of like sluggish? Like not really feeling it. So how are you really feeling? Like, how are your relationships? How is your, like, do you feel like you're fulfilling your purpose? Do you feel energized when you wake up? I think those are all questions that I think I would be asking myself in that stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. And for me, I'm gonna do a lot of personal examples, because literally this was like my mindset the past week. I was trying to be like, all right, Devon, you're about to be under construction. All right, let's get it. What can you work on? Assess yourself, what your frequencies like the Queen said. What's your health looking like? So for me, under construction, the things that I'm focusing on is I took a look at my health, and I think, large scale, I'm living a healthy lifestyle, but zoomed in over like the past 2-3 weeks, Corona, living at the house, coming back from vacation, not being able to cook, like there were a lot of kind of factors that were stopping me from living the healthy life that I probably would have wanted to live. So I was taking a good look at, okay, how can I reconstruct or renovate what I'm eating? How can I reconstruct or renovate my daily workout plan? Another thing, I think we talked about this, was my anxiety levels were a little bit high. And I don't know if that's just being cooped up in the house for so long, or just the pile and mountain of tasks that I have to do. It's probably that one. But I definitely had high anxiety levels, and I was avoiding doing my typical yoga. Like usually I used to like wake up in the morning, do my yoga first thing, and then do my 100 push-ups, but I had stopped doing the yoga and I was just skipping right to the push-ups because I was like, I don't have time to do yoga. But it was like, I do yoga for like 8 minutes.
Right.
So it's like, it wasn't that much time. It was the anxiety saying, you can't slow down, which is interesting because yoga helps you with anxiety. Right. It helps you slow down. So that's something that I reincorporated this week. But assessment, I think you nailed it on the head. You're taking a look within. How am I feeling? Where is my value? So like, okay, I know I'm a speaker, kind of. I'm an interactive speaker. I know that people give me energy. I know that I want to get better in my health. I know that I'm trying to get better in finances. So like, just take a look at really how you're feeling, what you do really well, give yourself kudos, give yourself that value. Then also look, where can I renovate? Where can I add a little bit more value? Where can I take off these countertops and put marble floors? Where can I put in solar panels? Where can I do this, do that to your own temple?
And you mentioned your speaker and interactive. We should talk about that at the beginning. That's something.
Yeah, that was the plan. I get it. I got excited and I just jumped right into it.
You took your DISC assessment.
I did take my DISC assessment yesterday.
Right.
Yes.
What'd you learn?
So I want to rewind a little bit and go over the 2 free assessments.
Okay.
And then I'll hit the DISC assessment. So we've already, Google. No one's talking to you, Google. Y'all know technology, you just be trying to listen all the time. But there's 2 free assessments that I want to talk about briefly, and then the DISC assessment I think is just fire, and y'all should definitely take that, but it's a little expensive. The first one is the 5 love languages.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been kind of talking a lot. Do you want to talk about 5 love languages?
Sure. And if you've watched any of our other podcasts, this is one we've talked about a lot.
Right.
Because it is free, and it is something that's good for. It's not just about romantic relationships. It's really just how you communicate with people and how you like to be appreciated. So the 5 love languages, it's a book, but it also comes with an assessment that you can take. It's a really quick assessment, just based, fill out some questions, and it'll let you know what type of love language you identify with the most. And it ranks them for you, doesn't it? Yeah, it ranks them for you. So there's words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. I think that's all of them, right?
I think so.
So out from the question,
physical
touch or whatever.
Yeah, that was my second one.
Yeah. So it'll kind of tell you like what you most appreciate. So if you're kind of like, I don't know, if you've ever received a gift before and you're like, oh, this is cool, right? And it's like, it's something that you appreciate the thought that went into it, but like it's not like as high of a value to you. Whereas like if your significant other were to like sit down on the couch and rub your feet, and it's like, oh my goodness, thank you so much, that's exactly what I needed, then like maybe.
Yes, I do rub her feet, y'all.
Yes, it's amazing. And for him, it's a 10.
Yes, every time.
Those little things that like, what really is it? Acts of service? Is it like, man, I have a stressful day, so taking something off of my plate would really make me feel appreciated right now and feel loved? Then that's probably your love language. So that's a good test just to know yourself and to know what types of things that you value, because that's something you can do for yourself too. That's something that I've learned. Like, so mine's words of affirmation. And I feel like I've always been hard on myself, especially with the way that I talk to myself. So I've heard a lot of people say, like, if you talk to other people the way you talk to yourself, like, what would your life look like? Come on, I would have no friends. Nobody. They'd be like, damn, Sinclair. So I like really took a look at myself, like, why do I talk to myself that way? And I feel like I'm trying to always be better, so I'm hard on myself. But I tried to more recently, give myself more words of affirmation. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, you did that. You probably should have done that. But, this is probably why you did it. I understand why you did that, Sinclair. But next time, you should try to do this. Like, exactly how I would talk to other people, I'm talking to myself.
And again, we've said this before. If you're talking to yourself and you know you're talking to yourself, you're perfectly fine. If you don't know, which happened to me a few weeks ago, talk to somebody.
But yeah, I think that's a good free assessment. And then the other one was social styles, right?
Yep, social styles or true colors. Well, again, you'll answer a few questions and it'll let you know, are you a orange, a blue, a green, or sometimes it's different animals and each animal has its own personality and style to it.
Or you'll hear I think the official terms are like driver, analytical, amiable, and expressive. So there's different ways to categorize it, but they all basically say the same thing.
All right, so long story short, we want y'all at some point to take one of these assessments so that you can just know who you are on a little bit deeper level. And then once you maybe have a little bit more resources and you want to invest in knowing yourself a little bit more, take the DISC assessment, which I did take, and I got a 99.95 interactive.
So high.
Which is, y'all see, like, people, hey, camera, hey, microphone, hey, classroom, hey, presentation, hey, YouTube channel, hey, documentary. Like, I just love people, and I love interacting with people. I will be in the world interacting all the time, and that showed very much so in the assessment. What it also showed is I do not like details. Which is her superpower, which is amazing greatness match of what we've created here.
Right.
But if you give me a detail-oriented task, like for the first time I was starting to do purchase orders, and I was just so stressed and so much anxiety was coming in my head because of I was doing these purchase orders, and I was finally like, Queen, I need your help. Can you do these? This is not for me right now. It is taking all of my life to sit here and do. Can you please take these on? She was like, yes, I got you, P. I was like, oh, thank God, thank you. So knowing that, now I know all detail-oriented stuff, either I need a little bit more time to do just because of who I am naturally, or thank the stars and the universe and my ancestors, I have a beautiful queen and wife that I can be like, hey, Queen, can you do this? And it's done. So assess yourself, because it'll let you know who you need in your life. If you're an I and you're trying to start a business, you're probably going to want to link up with a C, with an S, with a D. That way, and these are different social styles. That way you can have the full picture in your business. If I was the only one in this business, a lot of details would probably get missed.
Yes. Lord have mercy. Yeah, I think especially like when you're saying like starting a business, because there's a lot of like paperwork and things that are involved with that. So I feel like if you're not that person, then yes, find somebody to just double check everything that you do. Make sure all your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted. Because yeah, like how your brain is wired. You know, it's perfect that this is called under construction. So I just want to say, if you hear any noises coming from the roof or anything, our roof is also under construction, not ours, but the building roof. So if you hear some hammers, that's what that is. Shout out to Live Podcasts.
Hey.
Totally forgot what I was saying.
All good, but I'm gonna skip us ahead now.
Cool.
All right, we spent a lot of time on assessment. We do want you all to spend a lot of time on assessment. Just like in the real estate world, you're gonna spend a lot of the bulk of your time researching and finding the right property, finding the values and where you can add value. You should do the same thing with yourself on an intermittent time schedule.
Truvel.